Now let's talk about invert again. So the invert, there's a position, when you stay there longer than you should, you run into the problem that first we dealt with by pushing the legs on a mat. We dealt with this, and also have to deal with, they're pushing the legs away. And they're moving the aim. And then usually this knee comes in. Yeah, and then sometimes it's already like a late to do grapevine and you have to have some answer. It's similar idea that we have here. They lift the legs, or we have to deal with that, they push the legs down. So in the invert we have the same problems, but in different way. So one answer I would suggest you would have. So if you're here and if they push, so go. Nicely. So you don't go for a knee, you go for a hip. And definitely if you keep it too much there, like a minute, they will expose you. But it's actually a very annoying grip to have and to attack my upper body and everything. So I wouldn't reach any further, and all the jumping attacks will not happen before they remove that grip, like let's say some triangles and stuff. So one more time. So very important is when you do it from the beginning, go aim, 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 aim. And they usually switch the legs, and your legs are here, you're touching the legs, and then they're coming, yeah? And then you're already moving, and you're back to grilled chicken. So if they're pushing your legs down in invert, then you're spinning around, and if they're pushing away, then you're sitting up. Kind of opposite what we did before, like when we're on their backs. So this is very, very important idea, but it only, let's say, it's worse when you stay there for longer. So if you really, let's say, we go to invert, and I try to spin out faster. It isn't that easy for Ronald actually to put her knee to the chest or something. We go here, it's quite annoying that if I want to recover, I just use the shins and I turn around. So one more time. So he tries to go, 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 because he has to, for this to work, he has to change the arms, because right now he's good. When they go invert, he has to uncross the arms and now push. So this gives me also time to move around. So if I'm late, and so then we have some secondary reaction that I have to manage, and also you have to understand that you may end up in maybe side control-ish bottom. So if you play a little bit, I show the move again. So here, and I go up. And it's very, very normal, let's say, if he does it again. Like if I'm totally messing up, they put me on the chest, and I turn around, and then I play my side control, let's say, system. When I'm not flat, and I use a different kind of running mans and pandas and turtles. So, but you have a secondary reaction, but also understand the context, what you should have done, why you end up there, but definitely have some reaction for it. But I guess the worst thing that I would suggest you would do is they push away and they actually get knee and chest, skull right or something, and you end up in side control bottom. That should not happen. It only happen when they're super good, super fresh, you're totally tired. So this option, that they do this, and they go side control. And you're just laying here. This could be this should happen, because there's so many things I can do to prevent all those things. Just turning on my side, or going running man or whatever. So definitely have a different layers of defense there, because A, what you want to do, B, C, D. So not only A, I also have to have what happens next if I fail. And I always recommend turtle, because that's kind of avoiding all the guard passing situations. So I hope I get to share my view on that also at some point. But yeah, so don't stay in their back. And you see, when you build up system like that, all this inverting and keeping the aim always, it's quite nice system. When the speed goes up, it's gonna be harder to hold that, so you're gonna struggle with that. But the fun part is, like I explained before, is it's fun to do mistakes when you know how to fix them. When you know exactly how they passed your guard, why they passed your guard, your aim was off, you did something this, that, and just go and do it again. And you have to train that with progressive resistance, starting with 5%, 6%, you have to be smart to train. If you only go 100%, you can't try new things. So it's always, good partner, progressive resistance, mixing it up, creating drills, and getting more comfortable. But because it is like a full body coordination, always keeping the aim, knees, everything. So you're gonna struggle with that. So expect that. And when you expect that, you don't feel so bad. If you expect to get it right away and you can't, then you feel more miserable and you feel like, oh, it's not for me. But expect the struggle, expect the new things are not very easy to, get. Even this, because doing actually minimally, doing literally nothing it's very, very hard. Doing something seems to be very, very easy or a stretch and stuff. So I wish you impatient in that and keep coming to the structure of the, the fundamentals and keep practicing that. So now, like the first layer is done, and now we can add stuff, build on stuff. So another move that you should do, and you should probably know also very fundamental jiu-jitsu, we call it spin. So when they throw our legs around, let's say throw this, and you go here, and you recovery guard. So I have just some things to say about it. And first of all, the move that you do, then you lift a lot up your butt. It's in a way it's bad because you force yourself to turtle and you end up in a stack. So what usually happens when people teach that is do this, and then everybody goes up, and then you do this. But I actually say lifting your butt that high is quite dangerous, because if they put like a shin bones behind your butt and stuff, they can keep you there, they can stack you, and they can force you to turtle. So if you want to do those things, then I guess this move is correct. But I would say, I would now show you how you should do it maybe, because there has to be both extremes. Lift your butt as less as possible, and then move your butt as much as possible. So, and the truth is kind of between, depends on the situation. So if he throws, I would show, let's say, what I would suggest you should do. So throws the legs and tries pass also. Right away. Like, do it again. So here, and I'm back. Yeah? And even, we're going to talk a little about the sideways stance also. Because first we talked about symmetry, but the sideways is also very, very interesting and kind of helps me with, underpasses and knee slides later. But it's very important that how I did it, I didn't lift my butt a lot. So do it slowly. So here, I just went here, up, and and I'm right away in this angle. It's very important that I have angle later, because I can attack better and right away attack even. Just lifting the butt, I think it's good for, let's say, warm-ups, because you warm up your upper body and you warm up your neck. But you have to differentiate doing it real life and doing it like, in a warm-up situation. So you might lift the butt a little bit more, but then if we do it again, like if Ronald tries to do a little bit like grab my pants and lift my butt, it's a little bit harder, I get better contact. I get my like legs between. But if I lift my butt a little more, and he grabs, and then it's already here, and then, you would have to roll and go to, butterfly or something. Those are good moves. So if you want to train that, why not? That's, your skill at the moment. You want to be very late and people push you to turtle, and then you want to have a plan B, C, D. But just for like a first reaction, I would not suggest you would do that. So minimally lift your hip, and that's actually very good shrimp. So you would go to shrimp and just shrimp. Usually if I teach about shrimping, then usually I do this shrimp. I don't teach that shrimp because I think it's dangerous to shrimp with two arms, with push two arms. And I also shrimp I love is you go elbow under and head on a mat. And then you push something, and then you shrimp. Or get like invert. So it all connects to the different ideas. So once again, and then bad thing would be later, what you have to expect, that people will adapt and they play jack cross, like really mess you up at the beginning stages definitely. So go left, right, and then just go this, even go left, right, left even. They play like this, yeah, go. And then this kind of throws you off. It's kind of when you're static, when you have to wait reaction, so they can play with that. It is easier to play with that when your legs are more straighter. And this is now dangerous, yeah? It's very hard to recover. But if you keep your knees in, it's not actually that easy to do because my elbows are supporting me. And if I'm having this arm go, and then it's easy to like mess with me. So if your elbows are here, and then it kind of, if you throw around, go, and then even go pass, then even this knee push that we did before, this helps. So it really has to be like a good, like a really throw that I have to do the shrimp. So let's play a little bit that I'm doing a better job. So it really has to throw the legs to the side. So it's not, so it really has to be like a good throw. And then he has to move differently, and maybe I can lift my butt even longer because he has to move differently and move away. But then the structure is like, it's really hard to lift. What I want to also emphasize, again, is when I'm more stiffer now, for purpose, do knees, here, try to go lift, right? Go up. So it's really hard to do those things. So that's what's actually really hard about the chicken, that to keeping that. And you want to do something, you want to react and want to shrimp and want to stretch. But the key is you do the less as you can. And then they have to actually do better attack, really overcommit or play more and do more sports. So, and then yes, that shrimp is very good, you have to have it, but it's not the first reaction. So, but this, I wanted to throw it there, like, because the spin is very fundamental move for Jiu-Jitsu, but just I wanted to show you my take on it, so how you should do it. So now you know, and we can move on. And now again, like the previous clip, we did the layer is done, so now we can add on it. So we have done the Torandos, and we have talked about aim, but now I will show another example of how to keep things simple, and then complexity will start. The passes will get better, opponent will adapt, but it's not like you don't have to beat yourself, they have to beat you. So if you don't do the aim and everything, they have way easier time. So me actually doing everything correctly pushes their passing to the limit, because the attack can only become as good as defense. And that's very important. Maybe some occasions, some people can push it further, but usually most people are willing to push the attack as far as the defense goes. If there's nobody defending anything, you don't feel motivated to figure out the attack anymore. So defense is really important. So the side effects of this and everything, I think we're gonna talk about it a little bit, but side effects are really good. But now this is one example of it. So he does the pass, really again like a version of Torando. With a gi, they do it a lot, go. They usually do this, and now the shoulder goes in or something. So do it again. So pushes away, and then it's a good pass, and then the end can be like a more leg draggish end can be more like, so upper bodyish. So we'll see. But the key is now, I have to keep my aim. So if I keep my aim, and he still, I'm not he still has to like move to the end pass, move the knee, he still has to do this, yeah, move the knee away. So go. So now I turn around. So my job is just keep the aim. That's his job to move the aim away. So let's do it again. Really taste the pass, go. And now I have a chance to go somewhere, turn, attack, go back. So it's really like it feels like a magic, because if I don't have an aim, go, he does this, and then it's like, those shrimps on the mat, and now you're fighting his body weight and everything. So it becomes really like a losing game, because it's kind of hard to fight the body weight with this. So then turtle and everything else in that. But just, that's it. Now this. It's very hard. This, maybe knee and belly happens, yeah? They come in, go back. Now it doesn't happen. Everything is already works. So that's the magic of it. So the aim, you're gonna lose the aim a lot. Aim is very important. And now you have to adapt, push and pull, left and right. Maybe not even do this, maybe one like arm. Like they have hybrids also. Let's say the knee, and the leg, yeah? Now this seems better because they can push this away and do stuff, yeah? So now we have another probable. Again, we can do stuff. So still I have to use my aim, but they're gonna adapt. They're gonna do this pass, and they're more forced to change their passing. They can't just keep the one grip because they have to do this, then hip in, then go low. So it pushes the passing and all the combining of passes to the, let's say, to the limit. So white belts and black belts, and everybody's motivated to change their passes, because passing, let's say, is 3 to 5 moves. You can't expect to pass with one pass. Let's say, ideally, yeah, it happens, but you have to go like 3 to 5 moves, least. And so how do you train that? Only if the guard is good enough. If you don't meet the guard that forces you to adapt to left and right, then you're not willing to do that. Then it's the coach, as me, has a very hard job to go, no, go to the left, now pass the same as right, because nobody's willing to do that. But if you fix the guard, you fix the symmetry, then people understand you can't go left and like just left or just right. You have to mix it up, feints, push, pull. And so the side effects of this, like I said before, are very interesting, because people will want to always beat the defense. It's very hard to come up with that ourselves, because it took me, let's say, 13 years to kind of see it, yeah. Because I had very hard time teaching people open guard before, because we did Arrivas and we did spiders, but it didn't click. But after the grilled chicken, it kind of clicked. And the side effects of this, that just people want to figure out, people want to prove you wrong, and all the blue belts and stuff, they want to kill that system. So defenses, I find it's really hard to do it on your own. Somebody has to give it to somebody better. But then going after the defense and adapting to it, that's the fun process. So this, I think, if you watch that DVD, in a couple of months, you will right away feel that your passing actually has gone better, because this just makes everything work better, and maybe even work together more effortlessly. So I wish you luck with that, and keep suffering and keep enjoying. So now we're going to talk about killing the symmetry. So first we had our rotisserie chicken, and we talked about a lot of symmetry. So now we're gonna kill that symmetry, and when I'll show how it looks, and it's gonna click with mostly open guards and everything you do in jiu-jitsu. So what I mean by that, why symmetry is bad, is when they're standing up. So if I'm on my back, they can go left and right like really easy, and attack me easier, like left, do some fakes and stuff, go here, I have to decide. And then let's say double under is there, you can go under. Yeah, I know many people are already wondering when he's going to talk about double unders. Like let's say knee slide is there, they go knee slide, they're going to keep this away, the knee slide. And the leg is right away out. So a lot of things, let's say here, they're not easy to do, but you can pull them off, and it's kind of like I have to manage both sides equally. And that makes it better for like a trickery. They can become better at this. But I can also give them a one side, like all the martial arts, like staggered stance. So what I mean by that is this. I mean this, that it's literally like I'm doing this. So knee, this arm is here. I can have a butterfly guard also, symmetry. Not bad, just have to know how to deal with that. So here, and you have this section. So when you lay back, and that's what it is. So, to this side. So by giving this kind of, now it's kind of unsymmetry, kind of like a similar to leg drag position we did. So if you leg drag, we went to this position and had this. So when you have example knees on the mat, then this is a good guard, yeah. You have the leg on the hip, you have the shin, you're gonna have this, you have discussion about maybe it's in, maybe it's out, but this is very good. With the gi also, I like to grab, thumb in, or just this is gonna kill the position. This is kind of makes them more move, just ideas about, playing guard. And also the guard I like is when they stand up, is the 2-on-1. Again, the symmetry is gone. I'm not doing this. I'm actually moving out and everything. Now, also, those sweeps are easier to do when I'm not on my side, on my back. And when I sweep, then it's easier to stand up when I'm on my side. So all the things actually become better, but you use both. So, and here if I do this, then let's say knee slide is kind of weird to do, because here it would be easier, just okay, knee slide, push this knee, and you're gonna shove this knee away right away and knee slide. So if you have this, the feeling what it gets, the space is usually, it's weird, it's gone. And then I will pummel the leg in. And also double unders, because double under kind of control is this, and when I have this control. So then double under, they can't lift. So I go to right away myself, and this nice click on the elbow is here. And then I grab the head also. So this is very good, you know, elbow points and everything. This is very hard to lift. So I right away go to this position. So if double unders from here would be easier to go. And then I have to react. I have those canes also, and then I go like in, or I just turn. And everything is right away harder. It's very, very hard to lift from here. And then I get my guard back and work from there. So having this sideways stance, if you have butterfly, and if you have, you know, this, it's very important to understand. It's not out, it's the sideways, and this knee is protecting the whole underhood space. So we're gonna talk about that position now more, let's say in a knee slide variation, double under, and also during the spin, that because the spin has to end with that sideways stance. So we're going to talk about that next. So we talked about the sideways stance, and now we can add it to the spin, because usually what happens in a spin, it happens more in the kind of turtle-ish positions, but also during the stuff we did, like if he throws my legs aside and I go to spin, if I go, I may end up in a really uncomfortable position, because you can get the double unders and right away they're like a grip and then sort of pass. So it's very, let's say, very common to do this and wait for the spin and just catch them. And then yes, you have, let's say, one reaction would be go that hip on a mat and everything, you know, and then hip on a mat and pummel, and we can talk about that. But actually, I want you to land on a sideways. So it's really, really hard to lift, and right away we have protection. So from the different passes. So what I mean by that is this, and now you're gonna land like this. And click is right away behind the elbow. Click is this elbow, usually they grab, so the click is here. So it's not this, because they can lift and then they come after you. So there's this, and now it's really, really hard to lift actually. And now I have time, get the wrists, you know, get the elbows in. I usually grab with a gi and no gi, or grab fingers. This is very annoying grip. If I just talk about that grip more, it's just this. If you do the gi also, if you do like this, they advance the grip. They circle and they can grab your arm. If you do it with the fingers, it's really, really annoying. And many people think it's actually illegal, but it is legal. You can grab 4 fingers. And the only way you can, let's say one arm, you can finish that and pull back. And then it's actually very hard. I have no clue why it's so hard, because it's a cone you're holding on. They can hit that also and then pull it. So if you did it a bit higher, now they can make it a fist. And now kind of they pull the arm out. But just a certain point, not too tip. This and pull. This is very annoying. Yeah. And when you follow them also, like with grips, you don't have a static arm here. This is very annoying, and I like this grip a lot. So, and then, you know, at some point you use this grip, the thumb, the wrist is sometimes used. So that's why I like no-gi grips. They just they force you to use whole body. You just grab, and you're missing out of it. So do the no-gi and then grab the gi. I would say just that way. So one more time, the throw would be here, and right away I will have this. Even right now it's like a triangle situation, but usually it should end up here. And then everything close, and now I have the manners. Usually they sort of lift and stuff, so back straight and legs in. And it's very natural to get those fingers right away. So that's very, very important. So I would suggest when you would spin from different positions, you would end up in that position. Kind of helps to nullify what they're expecting, because they could do a jab cross attack, like a throw and wait for you. So this kind of nullifies and helps you recover from the spin better, because for a split second you're turning your back. It's not that often, but I would recommend you to land on this position. So So this is very, very useful for me when we discovered that this actually makes more sense and kind of washed away many problems that we had. So I would recommend you try it and see how it works for you. And now we talked about that switching hip thing and position, and now we're gonna talk about a little bit about double unders. I think our viewers had this on their mind already. What about how the grilled chicken acts? So this whole system is meant to be very early, like early reactions to everything. We can go, or somebody else can go very deeper in certain like passes. Like there's like a 30 steps of guard tensions. This is not that. This is like how to keep the structure very safe, everything, and then do your jab cross. So I'm going to show you how I use the grilled chicken system against double unders. And this is supposed to be very early. So first of all, what they want double unders, they want, let's say, arms together. Yeah? And when this happens, kind of hard. You can have some system there, you post the elbows and everything. You have seen like maybe some Galvan, Rafael Mendes have sparred, but I actually want that. I don't want them to connect the arms. So if you have a good, good squat and stuff, they can't close their arms. So that's what it. And when they close, I guess you can have, you can kill those things and everything. But just first, good grilled chicken, knees wide to close the arms, and they can't connect. And now the good thing is you have to fight the wrists very much, because I know there's they can grab the pants and the belt and everything. So when somebody goes double unders, so you really want a really fast wrist, go fight, and then you just want your legs in. So and then you get sprint, and then if they get the hip a little bit, so then it's those things are easy to strip, and you have also thumb inside. So if you have this, if you have elbows on a mat, they lift left and right. So you have balance, and you're just looking for that grip and getting this back. So this is very early defense, and now you're good. Or other thing is they will come very early, and your goal is to go here, like very early, and so they can't lift you. So you see also those like some people teach a very late defense, like you go here, and you have this, and now everything is gone. You have 2-on-1, leg in, and usually this leg has to find also a jab, and you're good. So that's very important. And then somebody is playing like a double under against you, so you go really, really early, and then you get a contact, get legs in. So, but if they get a contact, then already be ready. Like if they pass, go pass. Then it's about controlling those arms and avoiding and everything. So that could. We're not going to go really deep into those things, but it's then about the grip fight. A little bit managing and not letting them have upper body. So my suggestion in grilled chicken at the moment is, if they go double under, don't let them get the grips. Wait a little bit, and now if this is ready, then you pummel in and everything is kind of good. You find those elbows. Another one was, get this, sideways. And now everything is good, 2-on-1, find the hip, find the job for that leg, or you can sit up, get your grilled chicken. So the grilled chicken what the idea is also, I hope I mentioned during this, during those sections we have talked about, that it's maintenance. You have to keep that position and definitely find your grip, because you want to attack. That will be managing the punches, bobbing and weaving, and then jab crossing back, or hooking, whatever. So your aim is your goal is to keep the chicken, and then find something you want to attack. 2-on-1, something triangle, and then you fail, bring everything back. So I'm not saying you have to stay in 2 minutes and do nothing. You can definitely try it against, if you're purple belt, do it against white belts. Definitely play your guard, don't get grips, let them pass, and then you train a grilled chicken. But mainly is you have to survive the gripless stage of fight and get your grip back, or sit up and then fight. So that's the grilled chicken is meant for, that kind of gripless stage of fighting. So use it wisely. If you use it out of context, you might lose more. So don't use it for what it's not for. So, but yeah, early defense, just don't let them connect. Push the wrist, get the wrist legs in, and you're good to go. So.